Hello students! In today's tutorial I will be walking you through how to create the graffiti name project. This is an art project that was designed by Miss Isaac over at Bolson Knolls Middle School, and I will be doing a demonstration for you to follow step by step if you would like to do this week. First thing I want to go over are goals for this project. So, students will demonstrate openness in trying new ideas, materials, methods, and approaches in making works of art and design. Also, students will create a personalized work of art using a variety of materials. You have two choices when it comes to making this project. The first is if you would like to do this method, you'll need 2 pieces of paper, scissors, glue, colored pencils, and a ruler. If you're missing a few of these materials, let's say you just have paper and you just have a pencil, I'm going to walk you guys through how to do this project if you don't have scissors or glue at home. The first thing I would encourage you to do is to Google search free graffiti lettering alphabet. You could also put in free graffiti lettering alphabet A to Z. You should get some different pop-ups that come up for you guys. I think it's a really good idea though to have a visual reference of all the different letters as you're making your name. There's a few examples I've included in this presentation, but I definitely encourage you to look for your own if you would like to try something else. So I'm going to start by showing you guys my example of how I'm going to do this. I've got all my materials, I've got my pencil. If you don't have a ruler for some reason, you can use anything that has a nice clean edge. Like I just have this notebook I might use to make my brick wall. You'll need a Sharpie or a marker at some point. I think it makes it a little bit cleaner. I try to avoid erasing, but mistakes happen, that's okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assume that you guys don't have scissors. I don't have glue. So the way I'm going to design this is I'm going to design this based on the idea that I don't have those materials. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by sketching out my name. So I'm going to pull up one of those alphabets and I'm going to go ahead and sketch out my name really lightly with pencil. So that way if I do need to erase for some reason, I can do that pretty easily. Make sure while you're doing this, you're sketching as lightly as you can. When you go over this with Sharpie, it's going to look a lot cleaner. With graffiti lettering, it's fun because it's kind of cartoony looking, so it's more narrow towards the center, and then as it gets towards the bottom of each letter, they tend to get kind of big, the edges are rounded, but really you can do this in any style you want. I just chose one alphabet that I liked and I'm working with it. Making the letter S is probably one of the hardest things to do when you're doing any kind of lettering. Be patient. When you're all done with your lettering, the next thing you want to do is give yourself a background so that your letters stand out against the brick when we draw it in. So I'm just drawing this kind of organic looking shape around my name. And then if you don't have a ruler, what you can do is grab anything that you can use to make a straight line and go ahead and start making lines about that thick behind your letters. This is going to be our brick wall, and it's okay if it's not perfect. I'm going to go through and just lightly sketch in like a grout line because bricks typically have that little gray cement grout line in between each layer. And then the last thing I'm going to do is go ahead and draw a vertical line, so a line that goes straight up and down. And I'm going to stagger these lines in between each other because bricks typically do that when you have that pattern. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and outline all of my pencil lines with Sharpie. So I'm going to carefully do that, and then after I'm done outlining all of my pencil marks with Sharpie, I'm going to add what's called a drop shadow. So I'm just going to go ahead and thicken up those lines on the left-hand side of my letters so it makes it look almost like it's 3D and it's popping off the page. When you're done using the Sharpie, go ahead and grab your eraser and carefully go through and erase all of your pencil marks. Erase one section at a time, don't try to erase the entire paper at once. Lighters are a really great way to add a little pop of color to your lettering. I definitely encourage you to use colored pencils though if you have them. You can do the same effect with markers. Take your time and figure out what color scheme you want to use for your lettering. So here's an example of my finished graffiti name. I did go through and Sharpie out the grout. I also colored in my bricks and then colored in my background. And again, this is supposed to be a really fun project for you guys. Don't take it too seriously or get too frustrated. It's just for you guys to hopefully sit down and relax and make some art. Some other cool suggestions would be to maybe add like some kind of other pattern. You could have like some little tagging, like you could sign your name at the bottom like you're tagging it. Otherwise, enjoy this project, you guys, and congratulations on your 3rd week of school. Good luck.